When I found out that in Memphis, Tennessee, 71% of the people that were dying from COVID were African American people. I think in Chicago was about 80%, Milwaukee probably around 85%. I began to push for efforts for there to be some testing in Frayser. In my mind, I could not comprehend how the largest zip code in Shelby County, which is one of the most populated African American communities in the city, did not have a site where people were being tested. So I began to call from the state capitol to state representatives to local politicians to hospitals to anybody that would listen. And at first there was a little resistance, and I said there's no way that this can be justified. But within a matter of 10 days we had 4 testing sites. And so finally we were about to have a testing site in Frayser, and 24 hours before we had it, they had to cancel on me. And the reason that they canceled was because there was a backlog, a 30,000 backlog in testing results. And so typically where it's supposed to take 4 days to get your test back, there was a 7-day delay on even getting some of the chemicals I think that they needed to do the test. And so they were looking at it could probably take 14 days. And so they just canceled that particular one on us this week. And that was, a part of me was kind of really disheartened and frustrated from that. But here's one thing that we have to think about COVID. This is something that none of us have ever experienced before. There's not a model. That's not, well, my granddaddy did it this way or my uncle did it this way. This is kind of learn as we go. And so I can understand the backlog. If a single mother in Frayser who lives in a 800 square feet house with 5 children, and she's told that if she goes and take the test, originally she's going to have to wait 4 days before she even goes back to work. What single mother in Frayser can afford that? And then now you add in the factor that you're going to have to possibly wait 14 days before you go back to work. The average, and in Frayser, the average single mother's income is $11,500 a month. She cannot afford to miss that time. And so she's going to probably put some holy oil on herself and pray that the Lord protect her and guide her and go back out into the workforce. And unfortunately, that's one of the reasons that we're probably seeing a spike in cases. Yeah. Cases have been increased by, I think, looked like 600%. But the death rate is going down. So, there's some things that you have to have question if so many, and most people don't talk about the death rate going down. They talk about the 600% increase in cases. I personally believe that this is an attack against the church because the church appears to be the only institution where they have deemed it super unsafe. When you look at that, and most churches now have condensed their services to an hour, at most an hour, 15 hour and 30 minutes. And when they are marketing that the church is the most unsafest place to go, but we're going to have basketball back up in the next week. We're going to have people come back to school and be in the school 6 hours a day. And then one of the statistics says 40-hour job is safer than an hour and 15 minutes at church. I just can't comprehend.